What's happening, everyone? Welcome to the Sportscast. It's me, Andy Grant. We've got Gary in the studio, back from his hiatus. Hiatus, is that what you say?
I think so,
You've been away, a couple of weeks away. We've got Muskie in the studio as well. And we are coming to you from the Feathers. Big shout out to them for letting us record here. Again, get down today if you want to come watch the Gold Cup. I know the lads have been coming in here, or the boys and girls have been coming in here every day watching the racing. So again, get down Friday if you want. And again, over the weekend to watch the final, which will be a cracker. So again, big thanks to the Feathers. Also, I'm rocking a bit of Flux. Big shout out to them for kitting me out. I've never actually wore any Flux before, but it's I'm pleasantly surprised. It's nice.
Yeah,
it's all right, doesn't it? Big shout out to them.
I wore something last week and someone actually commented saying like, "Oh, the cap and jacket look quite good." So
yeah, I seen that comment.
I had to let them know, and then they gave us a couple of
must
extra
becoming
bits.
a fucking style icon in Liverpool, isn't he?
Gary, they're going to bring out some Everton-based stuff over the next couple of weeks as well.
Liverpool-based stuff, is it?
No, but I mean like caps and stuff.
Oh, right, okay.
For like,
yeah.
like farewell to Goodison and all that kind of stuff.
Sounds.
Apparently, yeah.
Okay.
Nice one to the boys. So yeah, so the lads, for those who don't know, fucked me off this week. I had a meeting last week with my mate Steve, who was given 4 tickets to Cheltenham, which he couldn't go. So he then gave them to me. I asked the boys, these all fucked me off. So I ended up going.
We just all got actual jobs, normal lives. We not fucking just toss about and
you need to get
where we want.
Get yourselves to Afghan, and that'll change all that.
Yeah, leg blown up.
So I took a couple of my mates, and I met a lad yesterday who now thankfully he's a mate. What a lad, Ryan, and he owns. Let me get the address right of where it is. He owns the new Liverpool bar in town. It's on Exchange Street East, 26. It's a Liverpool bar, which is it's a belt. Anyway, I went with him. It was his table. Went with all his mates, his family, and I had an absolute scream. So massive shout out to Ryan.
Pardon the pun, you're sounding quite hoarse.
I am. I'm not. It's not like a hungover. It's just screaming. For me horses to win. What a day. Obviously love Cheltenham anyway, but we were in the green room hospitality. Amazing, like really, really good day. The compare in there was brilliant,
Really, yeah.
Yeah, so he had like Mike Tyndall was in there, and he was just giving them loads of shit, going like, you are living your life on our taxpayers' money. So if anyone loses any money today, feel free to come and rob Mike's shoes, and we can pawn them off, and just taking the piss out of him. And then had AP McCoy said a few words beforehand, and just a boss day. The weather was kind to us. And the betting gods, believe it or not, were quite favourable. I've never had I've had 3 massive losses. Constitutional, I went fairly heavy on that. What was the one in the first one yesterday? The first Ballyburn. Went big on that. I went big on John Bon. Despite that, though, I ended up 500 quid up.
Sounds.
I had a couple £100 on Stump Town, which won. I had the reverse forecast with John Bon and Marine National. And then I had a winner in the last as well. So I walked up out of there, 200 quid up.
He didn't fall over either?
Didn't fall over, no. I wore the same suit I wore last year and didn't fall over, thankfully. But yeah, what a day.
For the benefit of anyone else who who didn't tune in this time last year.
Oh, God.
We went to races last year with Andy and we're walking down like, he's got his fucking, everyone
in the car park, wasn't it?
In the car park, yeah, going down this like gravelly path. And he's went to get a little bit of a jog on to go to the toilet and just went fuck off.
Like proper though, lying in the mud.
Both hands are all scraped.
Cut, bleeding, everything. Yeah, did not do. I was like
clay gravel as well.
I was like lifting my knees up when I was walking. But no, brilliant day. So again, big thanks to Ryan for sorting that. Just while we're on Cheltenham, obviously Gold Cup day today. I was looking at the racing
tomorrow. Oh yeah, today.
Today.
Yeah, sorry, yeah.
The only ones I've seen of note, for anyone who doesn't kind of follow me on Instagram and stuff, I am a big favourite backer. I make no apologies for that. I don't like going for the outsiders, and the only 2 tomorrow I can see is it's pretty obvious, but Dino Blue in the
I liked it. I
in
liked
the
Dino Blue
240, and then in the Gold Cup, Galloping the Champs. I've won on that a couple of times. I'd just do the double tomorrow.
I can't justify 1 to 2 on Galloping the Champ, especially in the Gold Cup.
He's brilliant, though.
I know, but they've just been.
He shit on him now. It's a boy or a girl, to be fair, but it's not getting beat. That I know what you mean, and that people are like that. They don't like backing short.
I just think as well. I think for me, I'm just getting to get the betting up myself.
I'm a massive favourite backer anyway. You see, so I think just that double will probably pay about 2 to 1 maybe.
Let me just have a quick look at it because I was looking at this morning. Yeah, I just think there's value in the places really.
Well, any race I see like that, I'll just do a forecast.
Yeah.
So I'll have Galloping the Champs to beat whoever else.
But yeah, I love JJ Slevin as a jockey. He's on Banbridge 9 to 2. You pretty much you back that each way, I think that's, you're not losing on that. And I think if anyone beats Gallivan's a champ, it's Bambridge. And listen, it'll take a mistake, which he doesn't. He doesn't make many, but
you've seen that happen in the last few days, haven't you?
I mean, you go back. I think you go back to Punch's time, which was down at not even 6 months ago. Got beat quite comfortably by Factorfile, who I don't rate. So I don't think it's unbeatable by any stretch. 1 to 2 is way too short for me for a Gold Cup.
If you're doing it in a double, though.
I just don't think it adds enough value to the double. I'm back in Bambridge, so
you're not talking me out.
Muskie can get this little visual up on the screen. Bambridge.
Well,
beats Gallivan's a champ.
It's funny, I'm saying Gallivan's a champs, and all week I've said Constitutional got beat, Bambridge got beat, John Bond got beat.
Bambridge didn't get beat yet, mate. Ballyburn got beat.
Ballyburn, got beat. And so all the big favourites aren't coming in. So maybe I'll be wrong, but I'm gonna stick with that double.
Fair enough.
And you've been all right. You've been good.
Yeah, great. Yeah, just really busy with work, so I haven't been anywhere despite your
rumours on the street. Thought you'd fucked us off.
Suggesting that I'd either fucked you off or I'd been somewhere like exotic or whatever. No, I've just been busy working and trying to.
To be fair, there's not been loads of stuff we could have even spoke about on Everton anyway. It's been quite a quiet.
Quiet mean we were doing all right in it.
Hey, we've give Everton their flowers these last few weeks.
Fucking hell, don't start this again.
We have though, haven't we? We've been quite complimentary. We'll come on to start with Liverpool first because
please, I'd much rather talk about that.
Bit more going on. So Saturday at home to Southampton, I took my daughter. The first game this season she'd been to was Notts Forest, which we got beat.
So down at half time.
At half time, I'm saying to Alba, you are not allowed to come to the game anymore.
I actually did think that at half time.
Honestly, and then thankfully 10 minutes into the second half, it's 2-1, and then my daughter turns around to me and says, "See, I'm not a jinx." And then it was pretty plain sailing from then on in. It was just the kind of, even though we're going in 1-0 at half time, once the second half started, it was obviously just.
That's been the pattern of not the whole season. You obviously haven't been 1-0 down going into half time that many games, but you do start slowly, generally under slot, don't you? And we'll come on to that maybe in the PSG one in a minute. But I was watching again. I went for a big walk in the lakes and then come back and found a pub to watch it. But it was I didn't see you losing that game.
No, when
you weren't even in second gear in the first half. It was so slow and passive.
But we spoke, hadn't we, on the show about the rotation and about, we had literally been given the run around by PSG all week. Maybe it was maybe going to be apparent then that was going to be a slow start. Again, didn't see a lot out. Yeah, it was just. I think, I said last week, didn't I? I would have changed a lot more than he did. He didn't rotate that much. Maybe that told for the first half, but then obviously second half we put it to bed. What I will say, and I will bang, and by the way, we'll come on to it even more, so I'll double down on it even more. But just sticking to Southampton for a minute, it is embarrassing, cringeworthy, and if you are one of these fans in the ground doing it, please stop. 90 seconds into the game, Núñez closes someone down, does a little mini sprint. The fucking crowd, Núñez. Mate, if that's what fans want out of a £70 million striker, right? I'll go and do it. I can run 10k in 37 minutes. I will run around and close people down for 90 minutes, and they can see him, Granty. That is all he does. That is all he fucking does, and it's embarrassing. I get, try and support him. Mate, it's cringeworthy. Mate, he jogs. Núñez. I'm to the point with him now. When he scored, I didn't even celebrate because I knew it was him. Honestly, I can't bring myself to even support the lad anymore.
I think that's a bit mad to say as a fan.
I reckon not.
I think that's a bit far.
If the fans are pushing me like this, though, it's cringy, mate.
Why is it getting to you, though?
But you're saying there that you dislike him more than you like Liverpool, though, technically. If you're saying you'd rather him not score,
you're effectively supporting the opposition.
I didn't say that. I'd rather him not score. I'm glad he did score, but I just didn't celebrate when he scored.
But he scored for the team.
For Liverpool.
Yeah, and he's also costing us as well in other times, which we're
we're definitely going to come on to that. I don't think anyone would doubt that.
Yeah.
But we get criticised for booing.
I didn't boo. I just didn't celebrate.
Booing a player who scores now. But anyway.
But it's the fans that it's cringy anyway. But listen, if when he did score, great, shout his name. But even when he got the penalty, and Mo scored, they were screaming for Núñez again for getting the penalty.
You won the penalty though.
Yeah, all right. And then Salah puts the penalty away. Salah gets a song sung for about 30 seconds and then it's Núñez again. Oh, it blows my mind. It genuinely.
Maybe he's let Núñez take the pen. Might have ended differently.
Yeah, all right, yeah. And we'd still be 1-0 down probably. Or still would have been 1-1.
No, I'm talking, yeah.
Yeah, well, he did take his goal really well, to be fair to him. He done well to get in front of the man, put the ball away. That takes it to 1-1. And then he gets brought down for the penalty. So
listen, I would argue he's made the most significant contribution in that game. That's what I was going to say.
Yeah, you know
he
what?
Scored the equaliser, which is key when you're 1-0 down. You've got a team that's trying to dig in. And then he's won the penalty to get you in front. Once he's in front, you aren't losing.
Yeah, statistically and factually, you're correct. He has. My more of an issue is, though, this whole thing around him from the fan base of, like, just fucking licking his ass when he
Would you be okay with the fans singing his name after he scored?
Yeah, not a problem with that. But it's like, people are just being a tryhard. Do you know what I mean? Just to try.
Do you not think that the mentality of some of the fans is thinking he's low on confidence, he's missing chances, we just need to do our bit and try and get him? I think it's like the worshipping him, necessarily.
I get that, but it's past that now. Mate, the most determined.
Why is it past it?
The most determined woodpecker in the world isn't getting through a lamppost. Okay? That's Darwin Núñez as a striker for against bottom of the league Southampton, who are going to finish with the lowest.
But he's 1-0 down. You needed him to score.
And he did.
It's not like he scored one in a 5-0 win, is it?
No, listen, again, factually, yeah, great. But in the first 30 seconds, Gary, people were screaming his name like he'd scored a hat-trick. So I get his confidence up, but there's got to be a bit of Salah then puts the 2 penalties away, continues his goal scoring, and yeah, job done. Really won it. Puts us now 15 points clear, and then Arsenal draw with Man United, which was mad because they nearly could have got beat as well, couldn't they?
Yeah. I thought they were poor, Arsenal. I mean,
poor.
I'm going to say it's tough to criticise them. Obviously, the win against PSV in the week 7-1, you're thinking they finally found a way of, like, you know, getting goals without a recognised striker, and then he put in a performance like that where it just didn't look like for me, didn't commit enough men forward, didn't take enough risks. It's a game they had to win. I think I've seen something on social media taking the piss out of Rice that he goes and like celebrates at the corner flag. An equaliser that still keeps them 15 points behind. It's like, go and get the ball.
Let's get the ball, yeah.
That for me, your captain doing that almost sums up where they are. I think they've give up the ghost on the title race, and it's just for them trying to keep some confidence going to try and mount a serious Champions League challenge. I
think, like Declan Rice, you know, I'm a big fan of him as a player. He seemed like, you know, he's a decent lad as well, but I thought that showed a lack of winner's mentality.
Ambition, lack of ambition at this stage of the season where they're only really play. For me, it looks like they're just playing for second place now. They want to just consolidate that and then maybe build again, which is good news for you.
Yeah, and I think for Liverpool fans, you know, if this was Man City, you know, I don't even think now, even 15 points clear, you'd have any Liverpool fans saying the league's done. But I think it's the fact you're looking at Arsenal, looking at that mentality going. Yeah,
well, you leveled something at me last week, so I'm going to give you a similar. Last time we were on about when you're rather Everton being a relegation scrap. So there's a potential after this weekend that you're out of all competitions, you're 15 points clear, you're literally just strolling towards the title. Would you not rather be in an exciting neck and neck title race for the last 10 games?
But we're going to win something
and be jumping up celebrating those Núñez goals rather than going, oh, Núñez has just scored, I don't even want to celebrate.
No, but we're going to win something, that's the difference.
But if you were neck and neck with City at the moment, would you have celebrated that goal that Núñez scored?
Yeah, probably a bit more, yeah.
So you're saying you'd rather be in a...
No, I'm not saying I'd rather, no.
But it was. I laughed the way that you're laughing now. So why the hell would you want to be?
Do you know what then? Yeah, you know what? Listen, if you're gonna, I probably will. Yeah, listen, if we end up winning the league by 10 games, you know what? I actually even said this. I said if we don't win on Sunday, I said that it's gonna, in a way, will it bring a little bit of a damp end to the season, because you know we will have 5 games to go. It's like, do you know what I mean? So yeah, you know what? Maybe it would be more exciting. I think the difference is when I said that about you aren't winning nothing. We're gonna win the league.
But we would have a chance of going down, which is as bad as not winning something. Do you know what I mean? Getting relegated and losing out to the title are probably just as. But no, I'm going to agree
with myself. If you said to me, Liverpool are going to win the league every year by 20 points, or every year it's going to be like going down to the last couple of games.
You don't know if you're going to
win it. I'd go with that. Because who would want to, after a couple of years, it get boring?
Yeah, I mean, if it was every season and you knew you were always competing for the league,
be shy, wouldn't it?
Oh, sorry. No, yeah. But it's a different form of.
So I'm right then, aren't I?
No, I'm just saying, at the moment, I think anyone's watching knows what I'm getting at.
Yeah. And then
Hopefully.
brings on to Wednesday. So there's going to be big news. So I actually didn't go to the game on Wednesday. I went to watch Marine versus Southport.
So did I.
A big derby, yeah. Didn't even know each other were there, did we? There's going to be more talk about the Marine Southport coming up in the next few weeks, but we'll leave that there for a minute. A good game, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a good game.
I thought Marine battered them.
I did. I thought Southport were toothless. I don't think we talk about like ambition, showing ambition. They didn't do enough of that. Didn't get enough men in the box when they went forward. Marine are just really effective at the moment, and they're obviously riding the crest of a wave, aren't they, in terms of confidence?
Yeah.
I think
On some run at the moment, aren't they?
Oh, unbelievable running. You know,
Bobby Grant up front. Neil was telling me, who helps with the pod as well, Neil was telling me Bobby Grant's record since he's come to Marine, it's just like amazing.
My neighbour lives facing.
Is he?
Yeah.
I saw him in the pub afterwards and I was trying to blag him that I was his cousin. The same name.
Good Grant. No, it gives them a focal point, and it doesn't matter whether you're playing the National League North or you're playing in the Premier League. If you haven't got a forward you can hold the ball up, bring other players in. It makes it difficult for you, and he does that for them.
Do you know what was mad as well? I know you've seen them a lot more than me, but like non-league, it was mad no VAR because there was a goal in the first half.
Yeah.
Looked like a great volley.
Yeah.
And then it was offside, and you're like, was it? Don't know. You never see it again.
I thought it was a goal as well. It was offside.
But so anyway, I didn't watch the Liverpool game. I walked into the pub next door.
The bug, yeah.
Yeah, went to the pub
pitch, yeah.
and watched the penalty, like the last 10 minutes of extra time and the penalties. As you can imagine, my disbelief when I see Darwin Núñez walking up to take a fucking penalty. I think that will go down as one of Slot's biggest mistakes. He hasn't made many.
Before we get to that though, the graphics, Muskie's put the graphics in of the two games. I thought a penalty shootout flattered us. I thought you were nowhere near good enough to get to it. I mean, the first leg obviously is one of the most bizarre results you'll ever see. I mean, the XG alone, combined over the two games, they've nearly got a 7 XG. Versus your, I know what people say about the XG, it's a bit like possession stats. It's not. It's a reflection of the chances that a team's had. It's almost 7-2. Yeah. And I think that, I wouldn't say it was a 7-2 tie, because it's not always about just getting chances. You've got to be...
If you look at the both legs, we deserve to go out, don't we? There's no doubt about that. I mean, I didn't watch the highlights when we got beat, because I thought I'm not even going to bother watching the game. And obviously, Muskie went as well, didn't you?
I did, yeah.
What was it like, the atmosphere in the stadium?
Atmosphere was really good. Thought we started really well, to be fair. Had a couple of chances early on. Salah probably could have.
Yeah, so I did see that block actually. Yeah,
it was a great block. And to be fair, in the first 10-15 minutes, I thought Salah's looking like he's on it, and then slowly but surely, Mendes just got
Mendes was exceptional.
A little bit more confidence as the game went on, and it just swallowed Salah.
But what he's done noticeably is he shows him down the outside every time, and whenever he went inside, he didn't try to get tight to him, so he wasn't getting beat. But I watched the game back the next day because everyone was saying it was such a good game. I was going to say, and this is why I mentioned it briefly in the Southampton game, so I was going to come back to it. There's been such a pattern this season of Arne Slot kind of starting slowly, getting the measure of the opponents, and then, hitting them in the second half. There was a noticeable difference in that game on Wednesday. He tried to go for the throat early, and actually he's got caught out so many times on the counter. I think that was I wouldn't say it was poor from the manager, but I thought after the way they played in the first leg, in terms of how easily they were getting in behind and stuff, and I would have expected a more measured approach from him, and I thought he's left yourselves way too open. I
do think before the game even started, I did think we'd struggle, and I did think it would be a weird game because, listen, every footy fan knows the atmosphere can transfer from the crowd onto the pitch. And going into the ground, I don't think everyone knew the best way to approach the game. You're 1-0 up. Do you kind of just play the way you normally do? Do you kind of sit back a bit more?
I thought.
So I think in the crowd, though, it gets this bringing... Again, you were there, but
I think he was trying to take that out of it by going.
Yeah, and it's like you don't really know what's the best thing to do you? Do you go for them and try and get 2 or 3 goals, or do you just sit deep and defend?
I just thought he would have played in the manner that you've played all season. I mean, how many times have you been beat this season in the league?
Less than 5. Well, once in the league.
Why would you not back yourself to go, let's play the way we played all season?
I thought he might have played or set up like we did against City, where it was like, we'll be quite defensive. We won't let them do much, though. We'll close all the gaps, and then we'll try and break.
Do you think there's a point where, listen, he's not changed his team hardly ever, has he? Do you think it's a point where it's a simple fact of it's what we're now in March time? Players are tired. He hasn't rotated a lot, has he? It's been the same players week in, week out. Maybe it was just like a game too far.
And then it gets to a point where in extra time you've got to take off Szoboszlai and McAllister, and they're probably 2 players who will be in the 5 for taking pens. If they're feeling fresher because they've been rested on Saturday, for example.
Let's come on to the pens. I mean, the changes he's made, which, you look at Enrique's change right at the last whistle to bring Gonzalo Ramos on. I don't like that personally. I'm not a fan of players coming on just to take a pen, but he scores a great pen. I don't think he's ever missed a pen in his career, by the way. I don't know what Jota's record on pens is like, but I think it's a bizarre decision to bring him on so late, knowing that when you bring a forward on, he's got to be taking a pen, hasn't he?
Yeah, well, unless you're Núñez.
No, but how'd you not? You know what I mean? How'd you not select a foot?
I think
he's brought him on to take a pen. I don't think there's any 2 ways about it.
Well, I think what we're talking about now will go down. He hasn't made many mistakes this season, Slot. You could talk Forrest was a bit naive, maybe a bit of a mistake. He's had a couple of games where they haven't went his way, or substitutions maybe. Not many at all. His substitutions and his choice of penalty takers and the order, I think, was a big mistake from the manager.
Jota started, by the way.
I know he did, yeah.
Oh, I thought you said
took him off, didn't he?
Oh, sorry.
I
thought you
meant sure what his record and pens is like.
Sorry, I thought you meant
obviously, he's tired.
That's what I mean.
He's not playing it.
You're not getting a full game plus extra time out of Jota.
All right, well, but why not bring someone else on then? Like Chiesa's on the bench. I'm pretty sure Chiesa's got a decent penalty record.
Other than Chiesa, you've got, well, to be fair, Shimikas scored the winning pen in the Carabao couple of years ago. But then you've only got McConnell.
The order he's picked, Núñez, right? How can the manager, right, sit here and say Núñez is going to take, what, the second pen, was it?
Second, yeah.
He doesn't even trust them to play in any game whatsoever. He started them against Southampton because they're fucking bottom of the league and they're shite. He's got no faith in them whatsoever, doesn't trust them whatsoever, and puts them on the second penalty. That, to me, is just bizarre.
Who would you put there?
Anyone. Bring someone up the crowd. Anyone but him.
I think out of the order of penalties, personally, I think the second one is at the least jeopardy because you got plenty of time to get back into it. I think the first one's really important. I would always put my best penalty taker on the first penalty. I think the fifth one is obviously important because it's sudden death at that point. I think the second and third, they're probably the ones with the least jeopardy.
Yeah,
so I think if he's
I agree with you, but you still put your best players on them though. Not like as in maybe your best one on the first and the last, like you say, but your second, third, fourth.
Who else is on the pitch takes it? I know you're saying
Van
something
Dijk.
like that. I was surprised Van Dijk didn't take one.
Fucking hell, Van Dijk used to take free kicks for Celtic. Fucking 30 yards. Why isn't he on one?
I was surprised at Van Dijk. And maybe Van Dijk didn't want one. I find it hard to believe. But
it would be weird if he didn't want one or if he shied away from it. That would be a very uncharacteristic type of thing. We don't know who number 4 is. Apparently Elliot was number 5.
I just honestly, mate, and it killed me the fact
Elliot.
that he's just given him another chance. And I was arguing with people on the thing, people saying, "Oh, you're being a bit too harsh on Núñez." I'm fucking not, mate. He's like a poor man's Divock Origi.
He was always going to take a pen, so he may as well.
Why though? Was he?
Because he's a fucking striker.
Exactly. I agree with Muskie. I agree with Muskie. He was always going to take one, and I'm not saying that's right, but the minute the manager brings him on,
all right. Answer me this then: if that's your reasoning, he's a striker. He's got to play. The other week,
no, he's got to play, but he's
got to
take a pen in that situation.
If that's the reasoning, the other week we're playing, who was it? And he left Núñez on the bench and played Szoboszlai up front against City, was it? So if he thinks that,
what I'm saying, the minute he brings him on, I'm not saying he should have brought him on, but I'm just saying he's made the decision to bring him on, knowing full well that the chances are it's going to penalties at that stage. I agree it's a mistake, and I agree he shouldn't have done it. I would have.
And forget the quality of the player.
Played Chiesa, given Chiesa's. I'm pretty sure Chiesa took a penalty in the European, the Euros final. I'm fairly sure he did.
Forget about the talent. His mindset clearly isn't right anyway. He's low on confidence. He knows he's getting fucked off in the summer, or at least he should think that he's probably going to get. Why do that to him?
Maybe he was feeling all right after Southampton, getting a goal and technically an assist before the pen. If you
do you know what he should have done before he took that pen? He should have done a little mini sprint up and down, got the crowd screaming Núñez, and that might have given him a bit of confidence.
To be fair, the crowd were screaming Núñez before.
Yeah. When he walked up to the pen, they scanned around the crowd and everyone was just
like... Yeah, Musk even admitted that, even done the same.
Me and one of the lads, we looked like... One of the lads sits behind me and we looked over at each other and like... We know it's written that he's going to miss here.
See, so I'm the one who's coming out slagging him, right? Everyone feels exactly the same.
Not slagging him. There's a difference between slagging him off and being nervous because of. Do you know what I mean? I don't think it's the same thing.
You weren't nervous. You knew he was going to miss.
But it was a look of fucking hell. This is written.
Yeah.
Can't wait to hear Granty talk about this on Thursday morning.
Exactly. Well, I just then think it gives obviously a negative vibe. Jones then misses, and it's like, but for me, the manager is to blame.
Couple of other mentions, obviously, to give PSG their flowers, as you'd say. Donnarumma saves, I think, were excellent. Yeah. So, all right, the Nunes one was a little bit easier. I don't know if you watched the Jones one back now. I think it's a great save.
It's low. It's
low and it's firm.
I still thought at the time that I watched it, I still thought it was too close to him, even though it was low. It's
going away from him, though. Do you know what I mean? I think if he's trying to put it inside the post, it's coming back to you. That's going away from him. I think it's a great save. And their penalties were outstanding as well. There was, Alisson barely has the chance. I thought the first one, I was shocked that it went in because it looked so slow. And the staggered one, the staggered.
But I think he's done that before. I think that's his style. Isn't
it is. Yeah.
Someone was saying like slagging Alisson. I don't think he could have done it. It looks like but it was still fast enough to get away from him.
But it's the fact that he didn't move. He literally had the measure of it. And I think if he moves, then you go, all right, that's it, you've gone. But the fact he didn't move and he read it, I thought he should have got.
He's read it right, but just couldn't react quick enough, could he? Yeah.
But that style of penalty now that Salah takes and Dembele in the same one,
where you go the other way.
Oh yeah, you can't. Yeah.
Honestly, I think they're unsavable.
It's a mad run up though because they run from the other side and
they take it like a free kick, don't you? You take it like a free kick from 12 yards, and if you hit the ball that well with Kale, it's unsavable.
Keeping on pens, there was drama. Fucking hell, I can't believe this. I watched it this morning. Atletico, and Real. So anyone who hasn't seen it, he takes a pen, the lad scores it, but he's slipped and he's hit it with 2 feet. I thought, Muskie corrected me this morning, why don't he just take that again? I thought surely you're allowed to take the penalty again.
No, no.
I think that's incredibly harsh.
But why is it?
Oh come on! It's
the Champions League. If you're kicking the ball with your other foot in the Champions League, mate, you shouldn't be playing at that level.
He slipped.
Doesn't matter if he slipped. Aren't you the ones who slagged Harry Kane off for slipping? Oh no, John Terry slipped in the Champions League final. No one's going, oh, poor John Terry. Saying, mate, sort your studs out.
Okay.
Get yourself set. You shouldn't be slipping over or making mistakes at that level of football.
Saying like in the group chat,
if that was Nunes, how would you reaction?
I'm not even mentioning him no more. But imagine if that was your derby. And I don't know, Calvert-Lewin or something better.
That'd be proper Everton. That would definitely happen to us.
Imagine
it's a derby, penalty shootout, Champions League. Like, we haven't seen it.
If you're an Atletico Madrid fan...
We'll never see it. Never see it.
Nah, if you're an Atletico Madrid fan, you are gutted this morning.
And Atletico Madrid, obviously, they've done well better than us, but they're like us in that city, aren't they? Always seem to just lose out.
Yeah, I thought really, really unlucky. And it's paved the way now for Arsenal and Madrid. I think Arsenal got a chance,
The bookies are making PSG and Real Madrid joint favourites.
I think Arsenal might beat Madrid.
I don't.
Just because of the league's gone, I think this will be all their focus now.
Couldn't be more confident of Madrid winning that tie.
Really?
Yeah. I think it'll be a boss final, by the way.
Yeah. Oh God.
It'll be a boss final because you've got two ridiculous, so fast the front threes in both teams. It's going to be like end to end, like a basketball game.
But they're going to have players coming back. Don't forget Arsenal now. Next few weeks, Saka will end up playing in the game. I think they could surprise them. Really do. I think they get beat by PSG. I think PSG will make the final with Barca. I think.
I think so. Yeah. Again, there's so many. I mean, I was critical a few weeks ago. You've got Real Madrid and Atletico Madrid playing in this earlier stage. It was a bit disappointing. But now you look at the potential of the final, and it looks like it'll be a proper final.
Should we move on to Everton then?
Yeah, go on. Yeah,
unbeaten run continues.
Yeah. I thought it was
disappointed though with Wolves not getting the win. Or
I mean we go in front. I thought Wolves had. I think after that the Lions shared a possession, but we had the better chances. I think Beto will be disappointed to have not scored. But it was pleasing to see Harrison get on the score sheet. Lindstrom get an assist, because he's literally had nothing, no assists, no goals, despite the fact he's been contributing in games. But I think in all, given that I think Wolves, when Cunha's in the team, a hard team to play.
Player he is, by the way.
He is, and he's going to get a big move in the summer, isn't he? I think he's probably going to end up going to Newcastle when they get rid of Usyk. I think that'll be the way it goes, yeah. Because
hope he comes to Liverpool.
Or Chelsea. I mean, Chelsea are obviously always looking for a forward. And Arsenal. I think he could play at any of those clubs. The only club he's probably not going to go to is City, because they've bought strikers. But
I see him talk of Barcelona as well going for him.
I don't know how they're raising the money. He's got no money.
No, but
but yeah, pleasing draw. I think there's a lot to say about the game. I think it was a pretty dull game, to be fair, but we were relatively solid. There's a lot of the ball, didn't create that much. I think maybe we could have got the one, but it's not a game I'm looking at thinking, that's 2 points dropped. And
I think even though you're both well clear of the relegation zone now, you're thinking it's just an extra point each, isn't it? Stepping away from it.
Yeah, it's one of them now. I think unless it would have been one of them games where if you win it, you go, actually, we can probably catch Brentford and maybe ends up finishing, 11th or something like that. I think where we are now is probably where we'll end up finishing, which I'd have snapped your hands off for at the start of the season, let alone, a couple of months ago. And I think, as I've said a few weeks ago on this podcast, and I've said on our own podcast, I think all eyes now are on the summer. Obviously, now that Kevin Thelwell's been announced as departing as director of football, we're bringing in a new CEO. Looks like David Weir will be coming back as kind of the head of recruitment from Brighton, which I think is a good move, obviously, because he's got the relationship with David Moyes and he's done a good job at Brighton. So, I think
I think players or staff that come from Brighton, it's always a good move, innit?
Yeah, they've obviously got
his name, the owner, Tony
Bloom.
Yeah, he's done brilliant.
So I think all eyes are on the summer. It looks like Decore's not going to be offered a new contract, which I'm quite surprised about, but it encourages me that we must have some good irons in the fire.
Who've got the weekend?
Don't even know.
West Ham.
Of course, West Ham are home.
Yeah, 3 o'clock.
So
thoughts on that? Moyes is just the Moyes derby, innit?
Yeah, I think Moyes will really have the bit between his teeth for that game. He'll want to stick one to West Ham. Potter's done okay. He's doing probably similar to what he done in a spell at Brighton, where they're difficult to beat. And I think he probably want to get some players in the summer. They're not quite a team that are able to be as expansive as he might want them to be. But with a team that's got Kudus and Bowen, they're going to cause you problems.
I like Bowen.
If you can keep them too quiet.
Just thinking, David Moyes standing there, right? He's going to be in a stadium with both sets of fans who both fucking hate him, and he's done great for both of them. Right. Also,
it'd be interesting actually the response from the West Ham. Surely they're not going to give him anything but respect.
As much as I joke and try and wind you up about your Everton fans' relationship with Moyes, West Ham, they can get to fuck. How they slagged him, baffles me. So I actually hope he's win, just to shut them West Ham fans up, because I think they were so disrespectful to Moyes, like so disrespectful.
Yes, I'm saying that. I don't even know we're playing, and Muskies wrote the fixture there. That's honestly, jokes aside, it's not. I'm kind of pandering to your joke again. Apart from the fact that obviously it's building up to the last game at Goodison, I'm like quite chilled about it at the moment. There's no jeopardy. It's like sounds. I think part of it's because I'm quite busy at work as well. But it's for me, it's all about saying goodbye to Goodison and then building towards the new stadium in the summer. There's the obviously the second test event next week.
It's the day of the half marathon.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, the day. The day of the half marathon.
23rd. Then,
so I'm looking forward to that. It's good that it's on a weekend as well. The other one was obviously during the week. So really looking forward to that.
I am actually, joking aside about put my bitterness to one side, I am actually excited to see in that new stadium for like obviously
it'll be boss experience for the away fans as well.
Yeah, but like just for me mates, obviously got loads of mates who are Blues. I'd be happy to see yous, with a bit of positivity, great for the city, and just it's great to see how it pans out as well.
Be interesting in that first derby, obviously.
Yeah,
you'll be determined to win the first game in the first derby in the new stadium, but the fact that it's a derby in town, do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
should be a good day, good occasion.
Obviously Liverpool head down to Anfield South, go to Wembley to play Newcastle. Not got a ticket yet. If anyone happens to fucking listen to this on a Friday or Saturday morning and think,
so many of my mates are going down without tickets.
Yeah. Well, there's 16 of us going down, and I think there's 12 of us.
Yeah, there's 4 who've got tickets. 12 who haven't.
That's 12. Yeah. So Anyway, we'll be watching in Abuja unless some miracle happens. I'm kind of going into this final a little bit like I did in Madrid against Tottenham. I don't want to have egg on my face for saying that, but I remember when I went to Madrid, there was not one aspect of my mood or my attitude that thought we were going to lose that final in Madrid. It's a little bit like this now. I think them not having Gordon is a massive loss. Usyk doesn't look 100% fit.
No, he's not fit.
Who's it? I can't say his name. Is it
Lascelles?
Lascelles. Hall and Botman.
Speaking to a mate of mine who's a Newcastle fan, Lewis Hall's apparently the biggest miss.
Yeah,
for him.
I was thinking that. And he's got, whoever's coming in is up against Salah.
Yeah.
It's going to be, what's his name? Matt Target, who's hardly played for like 18 months.
And I think the fact that we've been knocked out of the Champions League now, they're going to want to get this over the line, aren't they? And get the season off, get these next few games, then coming up with a bit of excitement. One trophy and already in the cabinet and going for the league. I just think it's unthinkable to think that we're going to not lift that trophy on Sunday. So
it'd be good to see what the mental shift is as well between Tuesday to Sunday as well. Like obviously just trying to wipe aside what happened on Tuesday and think about getting
that's where the big, like the kind of, you talk about that mentality of being a winner. That's what's going to come. They need to quickly, like you say, just forget about it and move on. And I also think with the contract situation ongoing, there was that rumours of Van Dijk talking to the PSG owners after the game. I think Salah is in bits, wasn't he? I think he was crying, I think someone said, after the PSG game. You look, Trent's going to be injured. He won't be playing. All that in mind, it's those three, last chance of silverware, potentially, if you forget about the league. I think they're going to really have the bit between the teeth now, and especially Salah. I think he's going to be on fire. So, yeah.
Prediction?
I think 3-0.
3-0?
Yeah.
I think they'll score, like, probably 2-1 to use.
2-1.
I think it's going to be quite that convincing, but yeah.
No, I do. I think we'll batter them. I think it feels like it's been a while. Someone might correct me, but like it feels like maybe Man City. How long ago was that? It feels like it's been a while since we've had a really good, convincing performance. Yeah, I think
it'd be interesting. Obviously coming off the back of that defeat and how disappointing it was in penalties, it's probably the first test of the grit and mentality of this team, the character, right? Yeah. So it'll be interesting how that fares. Just briefly back to it. I don't know if you've seen we've gone past it a little bit, but we're still on Liverpool. The footage of Van Dijk in the tunnel with the owners, PSG owners. Yeah.
Oh mate, that's the more it's getting to the end of the season. You're thinking, we were talking about it on the minibus home yesterday. All the lads, we were all Reds, funnily enough, and imagine if all three of them go.
Trent's injury as well is an interesting sign out now.
I think he won't play again for Liverpool.
It looked a bad one, like.
What's that?
It looked a bad one.
How mad is it that he might never play for Liverpool
it was on
again?
the other side of the pitch, but like from what we were thinking was like, why have you thrown yourself in there? And then he just didn't get up. And then you've seen footage of him like putting his head in his shirt and stuff. Like he was properly distraught. Like,
but like say, he might never play for Liverpool again.
And that might be why he was more distraught, because he's thinking, is this my last game?
Yeah, there's obviously the final as well on Sunday, isn't he? He's just going to miss the final. But yeah, you're right. What's
your prediction, Musk?
I'll go with 2-1. I do reckon they might score.
Okay. Move on to boxing then.
Yeah, before we get onto the cards on Saturday, it's the announcement yesterday that Usyk will be mandated to fight Parker, which is a a tantalising proposition. I mean, you'd look at it and think, how does Usyk get beat? Parker's on a great run though. Be a disappointing one, a bit of a bitter blow for Dubois to not get that rematch before Parker fights him, but I think that's only inevitable.
What was up with Dubois? Was he just ill or taken sick, was he, when he pulled out last week? Dubois?
Yeah.
It seems a bit harsh, I think, that.
What?
That he's not getting,
I mean, look, you complain, a lot of people complain, the fights don't get made quick enough, it's not done, so I think it's refreshing, to be honest, and I think Parker
I got slagged last week in the comments, by the way.
What were you
boxing, saying Andy always hates on boxing, and just because I said about the Doheny Turkey thing and all that, someone just had a vastly different opinion on it than I did, basically.
Oh well, I think Bellew had a similar opinion from you, from what I've seen on Twitter. I think he's been having a back and forth with the lads from Fight Disciples.
I'm sure that's a compliment, but
to be fair, on talk, like they were all saying the same as me. It's just this one lad on YouTube didn't agree with me.
Oh well,
that's what it's for. Sports, about debate, innit?
We're here for it. But yeah, interesting, and obviously look forward to that being agreed in the next 30 days, which is what it's mandated to be. So on to this weekend's card. It's a great card, by the way.
I didn't realise how
proper domestic
yeah.
card, obviously with the exception of Beluta and a couple of the Irish. But starting with Jack Turner, who's obviously just battered his way through everyone. Admittedly, a few yard dogs along the way, but this one, as Muskie's put in the notes, has been brewing for a while. Loads of banter. I mean,
is this the one that was on banter. Instagram?
Yeah.
Oh, right.
It's
okay.
not banter. I mean, it's moody. It's moody banter. I wouldn't fancy that banter on Instagram. But this fight has been muted for quite a while. Farad claiming that Turner's ducked him, obviously, and his trainers getting involved, promoters, managers, all kinds. Everyone from like Tochi across it's been moody as anything. So I'm sure Jack Turner will be keen to put that to bed. He's massive favourite, as you'd expect, given his recent record. But
you know his kind of rise. It's got like Nick Ball vibes. I think, you know, the way
probably more. I think there's been more
focus from straight off the bat.
Without doubt, I think Nick Ball gone under the radar. Obviously, he was pointed out on this pod and stuff quite early, but he went under the radar more so than Jack Turner has. I think Jack Turner, because he's such a strong amateur as well. And out of that gym, everyone was buzzing over him. Couldn't we made to be a pro. Yeah, you know, rather than his style suits the pro game. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see, and I don't think there's much value in that at 1-10. Brad Strand against Beluta, I can believe based on, you know, the experience of Beluta and who he's been in with, but the gym, how much insight can that gym have on Beluta now?
I know,
given the amount of times he's fought people from the gym. So I think, and given the fact now, I think Beluta's lost 3 of his last 4 fights. He's on a downward turn. I think it's good matchmaking for Brad Strand, and I think that 11-10 is a great price for Brad Strand in that fight. I think he wins it.
Where is this card?
At the Echo.
The Echo, yeah.
M&S. M&S. Sorry, everyone. M&S.
The Echo, yeah. As we all.
I'll be there. Like,
you going? Yeah.
Big weekend for me, mate.
Yeah, massive weekend for you.
Be tight. Oh God, yeah.
And then we've got again. I don't think 4-11 is a fair price. I think it's a bit short for Andrew Kane, although I get it. Only being defeated once against Beluta, ironically. But I think it's a closer fight than 4-11. I think it's closer to 50-50. I think Charlie Edwards got serious tools. Obviously, he's under the stewardship of Stephen Smith. He's doing a good job with him, and he's getting a bit of a reputation as a coach. I think he'll have some surprises for Andrew Kane. I don't think it's as straightforward as 4-11 suggests. So I think the fight to go the distance will be will be the value choice. I don't think Charlie Edwards gets knocked out, despite the fact that Andrew Kane's got the power to do it. I think he'll elude him enough. And it'll be, again, a really close fight for me, a bit like the previous one. As much as Muskie won't like me saying this, I think Charlie Edwards might edge it on points. I think Andrew Kane will start strong, but I think as the fight goes on, I think Charlie Edwards might be a bit more elusive and might win a few more rounds, but we'll see. And then obviously Ball versus Doheny. Muskie's pointed out the one I seen actually, which is there's a boost. And I think even without the boost, there's value on Ball to win in the first 6 rounds.
1-16 is a crazy price.
Yeah, it is for him to win. I don't think there's any doubt that despite the fact that Doheny's suggesting he's easy to hit and all that, Ball's like, I'm not asked, I'll be hit, but I'll just keep going anyway. Yeah. He doesn't make no secret, to be fair, that he takes shots, but he's obviously got such a strong core and a good chin.
I can't remember the fight. It was a few fights ago, and he got caught like a few times, but his chin's just like whatever.
His balance is so good as well, though, isn't it? So he's not stepping onto punches that much, although he does plant his feet. But yeah, he's got a great chin. Again, good point from Muskie, even though it took a new A 7 round, but a new A's so much more careful and selective with his punches, and he takes just as much care in New A with not being hit. Definitely doesn't plant his feet as much as Nick Ball does. So I think if you can get anything around 2-1, or I mean, I'd take evens on 1-6. Honestly, I would. I think that's going to be over. No, he's not lasting more than 4 rounds for me. But yeah, great cards, loads of
local talents,
and loads of needle in the fights as well. But I think value on Brad Strand to win. Charlie Edwards maybe to nick it, but the fight to go the distance, I think definitely happens. And Nick Ball as Muskie's tipped up to win in the first 6 rounds.
Happy days. Anything else to finish on? I know you've got a shoot as well.
No, it was literally
It is
perfect
bang
time.
on.
Perfect.
Yeah.
I seen it. I seen it. I was like, yeah, perfect. Right. Good to have Gary back. Musk, nice one again. If you can, please like, subscribe, even sign up on Patreon. We will be putting Cheltenham bets out for Gold Cup Day. Just get involved and that helps support the pod. Have a boss weekend. If anyone does come up with a ticket for me or Muskie, let us know. And we'll see you next week.